Yes, boys. Yes, 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 yes. We have actually won a game. We have finally beaten a team. We have actually come out of a game and become victorious. The first game in so long that I'm actually happy. There's no ranting, there's no raving, there is nothing like that in this instalment of Analysing Arsenal. I am happy we have actually won. Can you believe it? No, that is not a misprint at the top of the title of what you can see in this video. No, you are not mistaken. Arsenal have actually won and we have beaten AC Milan at the San Siro in the Europa League last 16. An absolutely huge result. Absolutely huge result. Now, what I will say before I get into my thoughts regarding the game at the San Siro between Milan and Arsenal in the Europa League, I will say that this does not, in any shape or form, this does not change my thoughts and feelings surrounding Arsenal Football Club at the present moment. How I was feeling about Arsenal as a, just a football club in general has not changed from what I was feeling at kickoff to now what I feel now. It's not changed. I still want Arsene Wenger to leave as soon as possible. I still want the board to be terminated, and I still think the majority of these players at Arsenal Football Club are simply not good enough, right? And like, one game is not going to change my feelings on that. But I cannot be negative tonight because what we have done on the pitch for 90 minutes has been superb. We were efficient, we were disciplined, everything and anything. We were absolutely brilliant tonight, and I cannot fault our performance one bit. The problem that we've got right now with Arsenal, and I've been thinking about this, quite a lot, is that we're in a catch-22 right now. This is the only competition left for us to play this season. We're out of the FA Cup, we're out of the Premier League title race, and we're not going to get into the top 4 in the Premier League. That is done. Like, I am almost positive, I'm 99% sure that we are not going to get into the top 4. Even if we win every single game between now and the end of the season, and remember we've got Manchester United to play at Old Trafford, so like, it's just not going to happen. Even if we win every single game in the Premier League between now and the end of the season, we're still, I don't think, going to get into the top 4. So realistically, this is our only competition left to play for in terms of getting a trophy and also getting back into the Champions League, right? And my kind of feeling to it is that if Arsene Wenger remains as manager, say hypothetically he wins the Europa League and the board see it that he is, hit a satisfactory mark and can remain as manager next season, while Arsene Wenger is in charge of Arsenal Football Club, we are never, ever, ever going to win the Champions League, and the same problems in the league will keep on spiralling and spiralling and spiralling. The reason to that is that we will, if we get into the Champions League next season through winning the Europa League, we'll go, and maybe just scrape past our group, or, we'll win our group comfortably, but we will get matched up against one of the big boys, or anyone for that matter, in the round of 16, and we will get battered. Seeing it at Monaco, which was a side that we just were expected to beat, Bayern Munich 10-2, Barcelona beating us, 5-1, like 2 years ago. If we get into the Champions League under Arsene Wenger, the best we can hope for is a round of 16 finish, because it just will happen. We will get absolutely battered. However, if Arsene Wenger steps down at the end of the season after winning the Europa League, which will be a great way to see out what has been an up and down legacy, but still will go out in a blaze of glory by winning, his first European competition. Going into the Champions League next season with a new manager, we will have a much better chance of actually competing in the Champions League. And let's be fair, I really do not want to be in the Europa League next season, like 100%. It is basically just a B-Tech, Champions League, and it's horrible. Watching football on a Thursday night, I mean, this is a huge game, Milan v Arsenal, but it still didn't have that big match Champions League feel that I have just expected to see over and over again. And it sounds like I'm asking for too much, really, but I've watched Champions League football with Arsenal all my life. It's the first year that I've actually not seen Arsenal in the Champions League, and I just want to be back there, and that's kind of all I wanted to say. Having said all that, getting into the game, brilliant. Arsene Wenger, absolutely fantastic job. You sent out those players to do a job. Those players, every single one of them, pat on the back. You were absolutely sensational. Slightly frustrated because if you could beat AC Milan, why can't you beat Brighton? Have no idea. And speaking about the Brighton game, I feel really bad. I absolutely ripped into Arsene Wenger to shreds. I was so angry. I was just full of hate towards him on Sunday. But, these players have got to take huge amounts of responsibilities. Those are the players that go out and play the football. Arsene Wenger's not playing the football, but he is giving instructions and he's sending the team to the tactics that he sets out. So he is to blame, but the players also have to take a big responsibility. Tonight, the players absolutely stepped up. They played for the Arsenal badge. They played for those travelling fans and they were absolutely brilliant. Yes, you could argue AC Milan were nowhere near good enough and they were really, really poor, and they came into this game with on such a good run of form. You know, Gattuso has absolutely, like, he's gone into AC Milan who was struggling, and he's like just, you know, reimagined the club, and you know they've been on an exceptional journey, you know, since his arrival. I think they were on like a 13-game winning streak before tonight, so like they're doing absolute bits right now. But Arsenal were just so much better than them. We kind of survived a slight early wave of pressure. Like in the first 2 minutes, a lot of AC Milan could have easily been like, you know, going to go up, or, you know, going 2 goals up. They nearly scored from 2 different set pieces. They should have had a penalty early on as well when Ospina came out, and the AC Milan forward did not go down. Like he literally did not go down. If he had gone down, it would have been a straight up penalty. You know, he was obstructing, Ospina obstructed his way. He jumped over the challenge, and you know, if I was a player, I'd be shouting and screaming at him saying, you know, go down. Because honestly, even though we don't like to see it, you won't get, you know, your penalty from standing up on your feet. You'll get punished from actually being honest. So credit to him for being honest, but wasn't given as a penalty. We then start to actually play some decent football. And AC Milan, like especially down the left-hand side with Ozil and Mkhitaryan, they just could not handle Arsenal whatsoever. Mesut Ozil was absolutely brilliant tonight. The passing, but both of the goals was absolutely superb. Mkhitaryan scores his first Arsenal goal, clips it into the left hand side and then just smashes it in, and then the second goal comes in just before the final kick, just before the first half commences, and like it was such a brilliant goal. Great ball from Mesut Ozil. Wait, I think I said commence. I think when the first half came to a closure, not commenced. But anyway, where Mesut Ozil put a ball right through the middle and then it slipped into Ramsey, who kept his cool, kept the composure, slipped past Donnarumma and slotted in for 2-0. We could have had at least 3 or 4 goals, like genuine. Like we could have absolutely battered them. We should have got at least more than 2 goals tonight, like generally. And in the second half, you know, it wasn't a pretty second half of football, but it was what Arsenal had to do. Like they were disciplined, they were professional. You know, Maitland-Niles came on and he was so solid, and he was so he had no fear. He came out to the San Siro and he played with, you know, such freedom, and his decision making, like that was the difference. Like so many games over the last couple of weeks, Arsenal have lacked intelligence of actually being aware to soaking up pressure from an opposition team, and their decision making was just borderline atrocious. Tonight, decision making on point, the intelligence they had when they were on the ball, when they were defending as a unit, they were absolutely just doing it so well. Koscielny had a fabulous game, Mustafi had a brilliant game, Kolasinac had a very, very nice game. Sad to see him go off with an injury, but like, you know, Xhaka and Wilshere remained disciplined. There was a couple of hairy moments, like if you see from the stats, AC Milan had 16 shots, only 1 shot on target. They didn't really cause David Ospina too many problems, and a lot of their shots they had were pop shots, either, you know, on the halfway line, shots that went up and over, shots that were like deflected out or went wide. They weren't really causing us too many problems, but our defensive stability that we had at the back was absolutely brilliant, and like, you know, it was a really, really good performance, right? And you know, we go into the Emirates and like the tie is not done and dusted by any stretch of the imagination. You know, Milan could easily just come over to the Emirates and give us an absolute spanking, but you know, if we can just remain resilient and defensive and just hold on to what we've got, maybe, you know, try and nick a goal here or there, put in the same kind of performance that we've put in tonight at the San Siro, we do that up at the Emirates, we're going to be comfortably through to the last 8 of the Europa League. And I've got nothing really more to say. It's all positive. I've got to give praise to Arsene Wenger. I've got to give praise to the players. I've got to just give praise to everyone, because Arsenal turned up and for once they actually played to the standard that they are capable of doing. And like, it's a great result. You know, this series is, I kind of reflect on what I have seen. I say it how I see it. And like, as I said, although the state of Arsenal Football Club is still in disarray, this is the one competition we've got to latch onto and the only thing we're playing for. So as long as we're getting wins in that competition and progressing into the final few rounds, absolutely brilliant. And I'm so happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm in a great mood tonight. And on to AC Milan at the Emirates the next Thursday. Before that, we've got a crucial Premier League game against Watford, and it will just be really nice, particularly on Mother's Day. Yeah, Mother's going to have a very, very happy day. I want to have a very, very happy day. And Watford are a bogey side. I love just to get back to winning ways in the Premier League, because, you know, you don't want to just keep losing Premier League games over and over again. I know I've said that our Premier League season is over, but that will just, you know, shoot our confidence right the way back down. We've put in a fantastic shift tonight. carry that forward into the game at the Emirates, and we're going to have Aubameyang back. And one thing I will say though, it's quite interesting to see that obviously Aubameyang cannot participate in the Europa League because of him playing in the Europa League with Dortmund before he's moved to Arsenal, but it's interesting to see how well Arsenal played without him, and when he was in the squad on Sunday against Brighton, it looks a completely different side. Like Welbeck put in an absolute shift, and I've battered Welbeck over and over again. I still don't think he's good enough to play in an Arsenal shirt, but tonight he was absolutely brilliant, and there was not one single player that put a foot wrong. Arsene Wenger's tactics were superb. We soaked up pressure in the second half. We caused Milan problems in the first half. Yes, Milan were poor, but overall, it was an absolute fabulous performance. And thank you, Arsenal, for actually doing something useful for a change. I'm going to leave analysing Arsenal there for you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it. A much more happier one. I've really, really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing a happy analysing Arsenal, and the support you're showing on this series so far during our tough period is really, really nice to see. So please make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Check out my other analysing Arsenal videos as well. Seen a lot of you checking out my older ones over the last couple of days, so that's really, really nice to hear. Hope you enjoy hearing my thoughts and feelings. Let me know your thoughts and feelings to all things Arsenal down in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter at DJPeppers1998, and I will rejoin you for analysing Arsenal on Sunday on Mother's Day, incidentally, as we host Watford at the Emirates in the Premier League, looking to get back to winning ways in the Premier League as for the Europa League. And tonight, fabulous, fabulous performance. Take care, and I shall see you all later.